Hello, everyone. I hope everyone's having a good day today. I have another awesome quality story from my audience, so let's get into it. So, when I was a young teenager, I had the fascination for fish tanks. So, my first fish tank I got it from a family member. He gave it for free, so it was pretty awesome. I got a free fish tank. I didn't have to pay no money or nothing. It was pretty awesome. The first one I set up in the living room. I had a few fish in there to start. It pretty much came with everything. It had the heater. It had everything you need, plants and stuff. It was really worth it. It was a really good deal. I was happy with it. I had it set up in the fish tank in the living room. It was pretty awesome. It was awesome. I was happy, you know. Then slowly I started buying more stuff from the pet store. I end up getting a cleaner fish, the fish that cleans the tank. I end up getting one of those. And then I got a few other fish, and it works really good. For the longest time, it ended up working good. I was happy with the fish tank. And then down the road, after a couple years, I had the one fish tank. I always kept it clean. I cleaned it like once a week. I cleaned out the filter. I gave it a really good clean. Put water potion in it to keep it clean. Yeah, it worked for me for a couple years. And then after that, I end up upgrading to a. So my one parent ended up finding me a really good deal. There was a fish tank for sale. It was I think it was an 80-gallon fish tank. It was basically for everything included. It was 450. The only reason why it was 450 is because shipping, but it was a really good deal because everything was with it. Everything was included. So yeah, it was a really good deal. So I ended up getting that fish tank. I ended up putting that in my room. It was a really awesome. It was like a show tank. It was a really nice, awesome, really awesome tank. I didn't really need to do anything to maintain it, to be honest. Only reason why I didn't is because everything that came with it, the person who had it recently, it was a really good deal. Like it was an expensive filter, expensive heaters, expensive everything. It was like so expensive. It was a really good deal. So I ended up having that tank for years and years of end. I ended up having it for a couple years. I had really nice fish in there. It was really awesome. Like it really, you know, it was really, really awesome. I only had to clean the tank like once a week, basically clean out the filter. Um, and yeah, it was really awesome. It was the best choice I ever made at the time. Really paid off. It was a really nice tank. It was looking good all the time. Yeah, and the only thing I had to do was clean out the filter once a week, and that was it. It was good to go. It was an awesome tank. Um, yeah, it was really awesome. My fish were in it, so I ended up splitting up the fish from two tanks. I had one downstairs, and if the one downstairs had too much fish in it, I'd bring it to the one upstairs, and the one upstairs could hold more fish than the one downstairs. So it was pretty awesome. Um, and then pretty much pretty much I guess the fish started breeding, so I had to give the fish away because it was starting to get too much. So yeah, we went to the pet store and we end up asking for just girl fish, and um and what ended up happening is that I guess the fish store, I guess they made a mistake because we thought it was all the same genders. We didn't have to worry about breeding and stuff. So we thought we were good, but then what ended up happening is I guess they made a mistake. And then one day I looked in the tank and it looked like they looked like they already had like 11, 12 babies in the tank hiding in the small plant thing I set up. So yeah, it was pretty awesome. I was excited about it. I was awesome. It was just I was surprised. Luckily I had two tanks to handle it. I just split them up, you know. Obviously, when they're a baby, I had to keep the babies in the one tank and mostly all the grown-ups in the other tank. I kept, you know, and when I first started, um, it was just a small little tank. Um, well, I mean, it wasn't a little tank. It was a decent sized tank. It just wasn't as big as the one I had in my room. They were both awesome tanks. I had them for years, you know. I cleaned them up really well. I took care of the fish. Um, you know, Fish I find are really easy to maintain as long as you're good at the cleaning part and maintaining it and keeping up. They're pretty easy going. You can clean the tank once a week and then you can go another week. It's basically if you clean it every week, they're good. They're happy. I had a lot of experience with fish. Never had bad experience with fish. Always good experience. There weren't Fish don't seem to be too bad to maintain. They're pretty straightforward. So yeah, I was loving it. I was always finding creative ways to make the fish tank better, stuff like that. So yeah, sometimes I'd work on it for hours and hours of ends. It was something I was passionate for the longest time. I always thought it would be cool to have a fish business, but then I guess sometimes you grow out of things for a bit. Life gets busy, and then you can't focus on what you normally focus on. It's like you gotta like split it out a little bit. You either gotta have a little bit of life and little bit of hobby. If you have all to your hobbies, then you don't have time for free time, to hang out with family and friends and stuff like that. So, you gotta mix in the middle. But overall, it was a really awesome experience. I learned a lot about fish. I used to do a lot of research on fish. Yeah, it was a really awesome hobby. It was really awesome. I had the fish for the longest time. It was awesome. Every time people would come over, friends, guests, and stuff, the first thing they would do is look at my tank and they would like compliment it, say, "Wow," ask how I keep it so clean. Ask questions like that, and I'd be like, um, you know, and I would tell them, they'd be like, "Wow, that's it," and I'm like, "Yeah, because it's a really good filter." Well, I mean, as long as you have a really good filter system and you have high quality filter system, you don't have to do very much cleaning or maintaining on it because it does it all for you. The work's all done. I end up having a fish to clean the tank, but the thing is with that, if you have a tank that gets dirty all the time, but if you have a really good filter, then you don't really need a cleaner fish because they need to eat too. They eat the nutrients on the stuff on the tank. They clean it. That's how they eat. So it got to the point where there wasn't very much stuff on the tank to eat because the filter was so good. So I had to give it food. I had to go to the pet store and ask what type of food they needed. And then I started giving them food and then everything was good. They got the nutrients they needed from the food I gave them. It was really good. Sometimes I would feed them the clean fish. I would feed it some different vegetables and stuff because apparently it's good for it too. It gives it a lot of nutrients and stuff. It eats it. So yeah, it was pretty awesome. It was a really awesome experience. I still remember it to this day. It was really awesome. Um, I appreciated everyone. I hope everyone likes my stories. I hope everyone can relate to my stories in some sort of way. And at, and I hope everyone has a really good day today. Takes it easy, living life to the fullest. And I will see you tomorrow with another awesome quality story, everyone. Thank you, everyone. I hope you enjoy this video. I work very hard on my videos every day for everyone on YouTube to enjoy high quality videos and all different varieties of stories that I hope people can relate. And it's the best feeling in the world knowing that people enjoy my stories, listen to my stories, and can relate to my stories. The best feeling in the world. Thank you, everyone, and I will see you tomorrow with another awesome quality video. Thank you, everyone. Bye.